the best lineup in the business, and it's a man unit. Then you ask him, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good over KB and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none.
But that's not the only thing that Kat had accused Steve of stealing, because he also accused Steve of straight up lying to his fans for years and grossly overtelling the story of how broke he used to be. Steve has always told his grass to grace story of how he used to be broke and homeless. He claimed that he used to live in his car in a parking lot because he couldn't afford to pay rent.
I used to spend the night in hotel parking lots. What was I gonna do? I ain't had nowhere to stay, so I lived in the car. I had $35. And I said, come on, God, man, I've been trying to make this dream come true. You done left me out here like this.
This has been one of the biggest stories of Steve's career because it's like a grass to grace story for him, and it has had people feeling inspired by him. But Kat came out to blast Steve, accusing him of lying because there was no time in Steve's life when he was broke enough to live in his car. But that's not the worst, because Kat also claimed that that was his story and not Steve.
Like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey was never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history.
So according to Kat, Steve was not only stealing his jokes, but also stealing his life story as well. And I get why that would make him mad. So yeah, these two men are like oil and water. They do not get along at all. Anywho, the real drama started when Kat started hinting that Steve had something to do with Lori being in so many high-profile relationships. And he hinted that Steve might have allegedly been pimping her out to so many relationships. Many people have always felt a type of way about Steve's favoritism of Lori. And even though we're not a part of their family, it's super clear that he likes her way better than his own kids, even though she's not his biological child. Don't get me wrong, I am not saying that he shouldn't love her because she's not his biological child, because it's a great thing that he's taken other kids and loving them like his. But the thing is, loving her is not the problem. The problem is that he loves her like she is his only child. I mean, he doesn't even love his other stepkids like that. At first, people thought that the reason he liked Lori so much was that she's a really beautiful woman, and she was enjoying that pretty privilege from him. Well, according to Kat, we were kind of right about that, because he allegedly decided to weaponize that pretty privilege into something else. He allegedly pimped her out to men for fame and clout. Remember when Lori claimed that Steve used to take her on frequent father-daughter dates?
One of my favorite moments was when I was about 15 years old and I told you I wanted to start dating. So you took me on one of our annual father-daughter dates to my favorite Japanese restaurant. And you just started talking to me about guys, and you just told me that you always supported me and you'd always be there for me no matter what, and you loved me.
This was cute, but people found it weird that she was the only one that he did this to. I mean, he was pretty absent in the lives of his twin daughters, and he didn't even make the effort to attend their high school graduation. An insider wrote, "I went to high school with the twins. There were a few years ahead of me, but people always talked and all eyes were on them because of who their father was. He wasn't present at their graduation. So if Steve couldn't be bothered to go to his daughter's graduation, y'all can bet that he wasn't taking them to father-daughter dates either." And before people start talking about how Steve liked Lori because she was Marjorie's daughter, let me just shock y'all, because Marjorie has another daughter, Morgan, who did not get the same treatment from Steve. It was just Lori, which again makes us wonder what was really going on. Just to further emphasize how special Stevie treated Lori, it sometimes seems like she is the only kid that he likes. His son Broderick even hinted that Steve was a deadbeat dad to him for the first 16 years of his life because they didn't even have a relationship.
My mom felt the type of way when I left. Oh, why are you going? He hasn't been here. He wasn't here 16 years. Yeah, I got all that, but I know that's what I need. And I know that's what you need too.
But if you think that's bad, well, Roderick still had it easier than Steve's other son, Winton, because something really shady went down between Winton and Steve, because Steve literally got investigated by the police and CPS for putting paws on the boy to the point where the boy had physical injuries on his body. According to TMZ, according to the kids, Steve hit him with a belt and then a paddleboard, the kind used for hazing in fraternities. According to the police report, cops took photos of the boy's injuries, showing bruises on his buttocks and right thigh, as well as cuts on his leg. The police report says the boy told cops the beating was so brutal he had trouble urinating for days. Steve claimed that the boy had been getting in trouble at school for